Watch the entire video, my lovely viewers, from start to finish, to get the whole thing. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into it.
Are you tired of being called a failure? You want to get rich quickly? You want to bring back your lost lover within 24 hours? There is a solution for you. Global traditional doctor and practitioner, Dr. Shalev. He has worked in South Africa, Botswana, Swaziland, Namibia, Zimbabwe. This is the only opportunity you can meet him. You can call Dr. Shalev on
+26 77 77 63 757. He's currently in Botswana. Or WhatsApp him on
0973 44 2090. Dr. Shalev, the international traditional doctor, is specialized in money multiplication, passing exams, quick sales of properties, winning lotto, betting, casino, pass interviews, boosting your finances the same day, fighting back your enemies the same day, removing bad spirits, boosting your lucky, stopping or clearing bad court cases, winning tenders, contracts, and winning elections, removing goblins and cockroach. You can call him
+26 77 77 63 757. He's currently in Botswana. Or WhatsApp him on
0973 44 2090. Other services: he can protect you from witchcraft and enemies, protect your body, farm and business, manhood enlargement, low erection or no erection, infertility both in men and women, diabetes, low and high blood pressure, sugar, and many other problems and diseases. You can call him on
+26 77 77 63 757. He's currently in Botswana. Or WhatsApp him on
0973 44 2090. Remember, efficiency, excellence, privacy, and confidentiality is our principle.
Hi lovely viewers, it's me again, your one and only Mutati Mpundu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the red subscribe button down below and turn the bell icon to join the notification squad. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you lovely viewers.
Guys, let's talk about three things. JJ Banda, first of all. Can we all agree that the conspiracy theory of JJ Banda being abducted by the state is ruled out? Because, Zambians, we're so fickle. We're so dwanzy sometimes. Sometimes we just blow with the wind. There's a reason Jesus calls people sheep. Zambians are the quintessential sheep. Just go with the flow. No, badi mwiba. Yeah, badi muchita abduct. It's the state that organized people to abduct him. Can you now agree? Do you now see that JJ Banda escaped lawful custody? He was aided and abetted by one or more of his wives. He was aided and abetted by people from law enforcement over there in Chipata, because they've got this sicko loyalty to him. Okay? They have this idea in Chipata that no, he can do no wrong. Well, newsflash, he's a human being and he's susceptible to doing wrong. And every so often, he can be absolutely ridiculous. Let's be clear about that. But the people of Chipata somehow have deified JJ Banda. They've sort of put him on this pedestal like he's some type of deity. He's not. He's a human being, regular guy that has faults and flaws like every single one of us. So let's be clear. JJ Banda was never abducted by anybody. Let's go all the way back to May of last year, May of 2024. And for you to understand where we are now, we have to first of all dabble in that month of May of 2024. Remember the news. JJ Banda's gone missing. Nobody knew where he was. Everybody feared the worst. And then a tidbit of information came out that, oh, there was a little note that was written on the backside of a laundry receipt that was found in Mpundu, Binwe Mpundu's vehicle. That's the story we know. Kuti Binwe Mpundu had a receipt, a laundry receipt, and at the back of it, JJ Banda wrote, I'm sorry. He was apologizing to the Zambian people. My assumption, and I've always felt this, and I still feel this today, is that at that time, JJ Banda was contemplating suicide. The wagons had been circled around him. He knew that law enforcement was on his tail. He was avoiding the inevitable. And he could hear the sound of inevitability. He knew that the noose was tightening around his neck. And so in that very moment, he decided to off himself. Because, on Facebook, you can't really always say what you're thinking because, they'll mock you. JJ Banda decided to off himself. He decided to put a line through his life instead of under it, because he felt that he couldn't stomach the idea of going to prison. So he initially contemplated killing himself. Then, mid-stride, he changed his mind. In the few days that he went missing, I think it was 2 or 3 days, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, because, you will correct me. In those few days that he was missing and the whole country was worried, I was worried. Who wants the guy dead? We don't want that. I remember posting, I said, JJ, wherever you are, come out, man. We're worried about you. Well, a few days later, he comes out and he says, oh, I was abducted. And the police had to secure him in order to question him, in order to get to the bottom of his story, because former and sixth President Lungu went on the highest mountaintop and he said the state had abducted JJ Banda. And the only reason former President Lungu said that was to create political angst. President Lungu recognized that he could use JJ Banda as a political pawn and use him to create political unrest in the country by saying JJ Banda was abducted by the state, and Lungu demanded the return of JJ Banda. Well, come to find out, nobody ever abducted JJ. He just came out, and then the state had to secure him to get the information from him. Who else were they going to get it from? The moment he was secured, JJ Banda's sisters and everybody around him, no, but if inject, hey, the state had to get him, hold him minasoko, to make sure that he was secure. What was the purpose of securing him? So that he can tell the story, so that he can unravel, so that he can confess, so that he can enlighten, so that he can shed light on where he was, so that he can let the public know exactly who took him. Everything was blurry because JJ Banda was not forthright. He was not honest. And then at some stage he decided and he tried to make a plea deal with the state. You guys remember the audio that circulated. JJ Banda was trying to make a deal with the state. He was trying to basically say, look, if you help me, I can help you. Well, that idea landed with a hollow thud because the state was not interested. The state just wanted to get to the bottom of where he was, because the whole country had bought into this idea, this notion that JJ Banda had been abducted. The state had to establish, had to help the public understand and realize that JJ was never abducted, that this was an issue of his own doing. Everything that JJ Banda is going through now is of his own doing. You must understand that. Yeah, namufuna whites understand. He is where he is because of his own doing. JJ went a short time after that. He went for an operation. He was taken to Chipata. In that hospital, one of his wives walked into the room and said to the officers, look, my husband needs to get soaked. We need to dip him, soak him in salt water. And he can't do that in front of you jokers. The only person he can get undressed in front of is me. So you, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, talking to the officers. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the point. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, you guys leave the room so that I'm in this room alone with my husband. I'll help him soak in the salt water. He needs to get healing. Kwatifi pululu, awama officers bakuchipata wo, wafma mu room. Basha JJ nabakash. Few minutes later, the wife says, you know what? You're not going to believe this, but my husband's gone. So the officers walked back in and said, what are you talking about? She said, well, I don't know what it is. He just went and disappeared. He just disappeared and he just up and left like a fart in the wind. I shouldn't have said that. That's a line from the Shawshank Redemption. He's gone. And the whole place just lost its mind. Everybody starts running around like a headless chicken. Oh, JJ's gone. When the news broke out that JJ had escaped lawful custody, what did you jokers do? It's the state. They have abducted him. The state has done something to him. So the question that came out was, okay, why would JJ Banda be in lawful custody? And then all of a sudden, the state make him disappear in thin air. No, we don't know why, but we know the state did it. Well, JJ escaped with the aid of his ex-wife and a bunch of unscrupulous law enforcement officers, both from corrections and the police, those jokers. And it's come out now that they were drunk while on duty. Very indicative of the character of some law enforcement. Anyway, I don't want to digress. Let us stay on course with this story as it unfolds. So, JJ disappears from lawful custody. He escaped. Short time after that, we heard, he was in Zimbabwe. Home Affairs Minister came out and made a statement that he's in Zimbabwe and he's going to be extradited. He's going to be brought back in, that the wagons had circled around him and law enforcement had identified where he was and he was on his way back. Well, that didn't happen for some reason, which to me, to this day, I'm confused about that. My idea is that, because the truth is right now, us in Zimbabwe are not really in good books. I don't know why. It shouldn't be that way. We've been neighbors for years. Okay. It might have to do with something. I don't want to make political statements about Zimbabwe, but the point is, my idea is that the guys in Zimbabwe let JJ go just to spite this administration. That's my view. Okay. That's my view. Tell me in the comments if you feel that way. Tell me. I know that's a very controversial statement, but that's what I believe. Why would the Minister of Home Affairs announce that JJ was in custody and that he was in the process of being extradited? He was in the process of being brought back from Zimbabwe to Zambia. And then all of a sudden, he's no longer in Zimbabwean custody. My only assumption is that administration in Zimbabwe let JJ Banda go just to spite this administration. I believe that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I believe that. Tell me in the comments if you feel that way. They did it to spite HH. Zimbabwean law enforcement let JJ Banda go to spite HH. That's my view. All right, so here it is, but a lot of people still believed that it was the state that abducted JJ, that took him from the hospital in Chipata. Well, lo and behold, last night, what was the date last night? What was it? Yesterday, today's the 4th of February. The 3rd of February, about 7 p.m. Oh, before we get to that, Munir Zulu, not too long ago, announced, Kuti, JJ, Munir, that little leprechaun from Parliament, the guy that runs his mouth, he just regurgitates rubbish. He just says stuff that comes to his head. Munir Zulu announced JJ is going to address the nation. What are you talking about? I think what he meant to say was that JJ Banda was going to go on his Facebook page and address his audience. Of course, eventually we'd all hear what JJ Banda had to say. But to imply, Kuti, JJ is going to address the nation. You're reaching. That's called reaching. You're augmenting. You're embellishing. What JJ Banda was going to do was stand in front of a camera and address his 145 or 144 some odd followers. That's all it was. It was not addressing the nation. He's not a president for him to address the nation. Okay. So anyway, yesterday at about 7 p.m., well, first of all, when Munir first announced that, and I think Munir had announced a time and a day. Well, it didn't happen on that time. It didn't happen on that day. And Munir was mute. Some people say moot, others say mute. Both are correct. Munir was mute after JJ Banda didn't show up on Facebook. Munir didn't clarify. He didn't say, oh, by the way, yeah, Jay was going to speak to us, but something went wrong. He couldn't talk, but he's going to talk to us at a later date. Munir was mute because he knew. I mean, you can't trust these guys. They say one thing, they do another. Anyway, so finally, unannounced, nobody knew that JJ Banda was going to go live on Facebook last night at 19 hours. Just all of a sudden, we see this blurry image. We see JJ Banda wearing a black cap, gaunt, okay? And I don't say that with glee, okay? I'm just telling you exactly what it was. JJ Banda appeared gaunt, okay? Some of you can tell me in the comments, do you know what gaunt means? Do you know what it means to be gaunt? He looked very thin. He looked emaciated. He looked malnourished. Now, given the fact that JJ Banda is the type, he's a health freak. JJ Banda eats right. He exercises. He had a very nice physique when he was a member of parliament. He used to go to the gym all the time. He was always working out, He's a good looking guy. Well, last night, he was a shadow of himself. He was gaunt. He was. He just appeared emaciated. He had a bit of goatee with a bit of rust. Did you notice the rust? In America, they call it rust. It's actually rust. It's Ebonics. It's Black American English for, a bit of white hair, goatee. He had a bit of rust on him, with a black cap, appearing gaunt. He just didn't look well. But he did walk around. He got up and walked around, which annihilates the school of thought that he was incapacitated. Because you remember, there was, they beat him so badly, he can't walk. Oof. Lies. The guy got up, he walked around. He didn't say much. There was a blurry image. I think he used his native tongue, and he basically said to his audience, we're going to talk tomorrow, meaning today. I don't know what time. Did he say 11? I forget. I don't know. Did he say 11 a.m., 11 p.m.? Tell me in the comments. I have no idea. So now let me tell you what JJ Banda is trying to do. Now, you got to keep in mind that this is about 2 or 3 days before the people of Petauke decide on who to elect and replace JJ Banda with. As you know, in Petauke, there's a by-election because JJ Banda went AWOL, or as we say in Zambia, he went AWOL. He went AWOL. AWOL. No, it's actually AWOL. Okay? He went AWOL. He left. He left his post unmanned, unattended. Okay? Right now, the people of Petauke do not have representation. But here's the thing. Barely 3 days before Petauke decides, JJ Banda has decided to show up on Facebook. Can I tell you why? Because he wants to influence the outcome of that election. I would imagine, I could be wrong, but this is my assertion. I imagine JJ Banda is trying to endorse a candidate to take over from him. That's what I think he's going to do. He's trying to influence the outcome of that Petauke by-election. But here's the thing. Convicts can't do that. You have to remember, sorry, not convict, fugitives. He's not a convict yet. Fugitives cannot do that. You can't dictate from the political grave. You must understand that. You know, it's like, I don't want to use that example. I was going to say something, but if I use that, you're going to start talking about something else. But that's the point. You cannot dictate from the political grave. Banda is no longer a politician. Banda is no longer, as we say in Zambia, is no longer a factor in Zambian politics. So he cannot influence the outcome of that election. In his mind, he thinks he can. But the reality on the ground is that he cannot. And you must also understand that Banda's notoriety begins and ends on Facebook. Please understand that. In Zambia, don't be taken with the wind on Facebook. Because the same people that are calling Banda a hero today, if Banda were to be brought in Zambia today, now, none of you would go to the court. Very few of you can even go to the hospital to visit him. Why? Because your loyalty begins and ends on Facebook and in the Facebook comment section. That is all. So it is disingenuous for you to imply that Zambia's future is dependent on the JJ Banda. It is not. Zambia's future is dependent on you and I as a people. It's got nothing to do with JJ Banda. Understand that, and you'll be okay. Anyway, lastly, can we talk about Z Farmer for a moment? What a mess. What a mess. Guys, I keep telling you, you know, especially ladies, women, when you're of a certain age, this is what I believe. I believe Facebook has no right to get into your family. Sure, you can inform your audience that you're married or you have kids, but when you involve your audience in and you emaciate them, that's the perfect word. Thank you, Father, for that. Thank you. When you emaciate your audience into every nook and cranny, every nuance, every crevice of your relationship, Fionse va Facebook badi shiva. Fionse badi shiva. Including the color of thong that you wear at 12 o'clock midnight. If you invite your audience into your life completely, this is the result. I mean, God knows, Z Farmer is someone I know and we've spoken on occasion, but the lesson is still true. Ladies, you don't have to tell us everything about your interpersonal relationships. You don't. You can share some, but don't share all. Because when you share all, you are opening yourself up to massive cyberbullying and criticism. And not everybody's built and designed to withstand that. Not everybody has the ability to withstand the tsunami of hateful comments, tsunami of "I told you so." If you don't have the emotional fortitude to withstand that type of annihilation, don't do it. Don't do it. Here's what I believe. If you've been married and divorced 3 times, you're going to be married and divorced a 4th time. There's a certain stage where you get where you have to decide. You decide. You know what? I've gone through this. I'm not going to share with the public. I've walked down the aisle 4 times, for goodness sake. I'm not going to share with my audience that I'm walking down the aisle a 5th time. Don't do that. You're opening yourself up to total annihilation. Don't do that. You're a whole lot better than that. A hell of a lot better than that. All right. What else did I say I was going to talk about? Tell me in the comments. Given Luwinda says they'll grab Community House from HH when they come back into power. First of all, Tonse is not coming back into power because Tonse is quasi-PF. And the Zambian people have already stomached that. We're not going back. The Word of God says, can a dog return to its vomit? No, we're not doing that. Bow wow. Okay. And secondly, I find it strange that the Tonse Alliance conveniently never talks about how HH does not receive a salary from the state. Did you guys know this? HH doesn't draw a salary. It's like Donald Trump. Donald Trump does not draw a salary from the presidency. He doesn't. He's chosen not to do that. But I find it strange, curious, and disingenuous of the Tonse Alliance to conveniently omit and forget that portion of it. No, we're going to grab. You're not going to grab anything. You know why? Because you're not coming back. We see right through you. All right. Thought I'd share that with you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. God bless. Bye.
This is DJ Mutati exclusive.
Alright, that's all right for you today, lovely viewers. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about the video you just watched in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you, lovely viewers. Once again, I go by the name of Mutati Mpundu. I love you, peace, I gotta go.